Howdy folks, let's talk about Ripley. Ripley ain't your grandma's flea market. Picture this. Rows and rows of stuff, from hubcaps to taxidermied possums. You see more teeth missing than a hockey team. Overalls are practically formal wear, and if your belly ain't sticking out further than your pickup truck, you ain't eating right. That's Ripley. Now let me tell you about Billy. Billy was a big old boy, bigger than a prize hog at the county fair. Billy loved animals, especially birds. He dreamed of having a whole flock of exotic birds. So, one sweltering Saturday, Billy loaded up his truck and headed to Ripley. Then, he saw them. 2 owls, white as snow, perched on a rusty swing set. "Snow owls!" Billy exclaimed, his voice full of excitement. Now Billy wasn't exactly a bird expert. He figured any white owl had to be a snow owl. He didn't notice the faintest tinge of yellow under the white. The owner of the owls, a skinny fellow with a gap-toothed grin, rubbed his hands together. "That's right, mister," he said. "Purebred snow owls, straight from the Arctic." He winked, and Billy was hooked. "How much?" Billy asked, his heart already set on taking those owls home. "For you, my friend, a steal. $500 for the pair." $500 was a lot, even for Billy. But these weren't just any owls, they were snow owls. He imagined them breeding, filling his house with fluffy white chicks. Billy pulled out his wallet and paid the man. He carefully loaded the owls, nestled in a beat-up cage, into his truck. Billy was one happy camper. Billy doted on those owls. He fed them the best mice money could buy. He built them a fancy cage in his living room, complete with a miniature igloo. He even played them recordings of Arctic winds, hoping it would put them in the mood. But something wasn't right. Weeks turned into months and still no baby owls. Billy was stumped. He'd read every book on owl care he could find. He tried everything, changing their diet, adjusting the temperature, even playing Barry White music. Nothing worked. "What in tarnation is wrong with these birds?" Billy mumbled to himself one afternoon. He was starting to think he'd gotten scammed. Those owls were eating him out of house and home, and still, no baby owls. Frustrated, Billy decided to seek professional help. He loaded up the owls and drove to see Keith, the only bird specialist for miles around. Keith was a tall, lanky fella with a pot belly that would make a beer keg jealous. He had a way with animals, especially birds. Keith listened patiently as Billy explained his predicament. He examined the owls, chuckling softly. "Billy," he finally said, scratching his beard, "I hate to tell you this, but these ain't snow owls." "What?" Billy sputtered, his face turning redder than a boiled crawdad. "What do you mean they ain't snow owls?" "Well," Keith drawled, pointing to a faint yellow patch under one owl's wing, "for starters they got a mite too much yellow for snow owls. And see their eyes? Brown, not yellow like a real snow owl's." Billy was stunned. "You saying those ain't snow owls at all?" "Nope," Keith said, grinning. "These here are barn owls. Someone just spray-painted them white." Billy was speechless. He'd been had. "But that ain't the real problem," Keith continued, his grin widening. "The real problem is, well, these owls are gay. See, they both got ducks. They ain't interested in making babies." Billy stared at Keith, then at the owls, then back at Keith. "Gay owls?" he finally muttered. "Yep," Keith said, chuckling. "Queer as a $3 bill. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just means you ain't getting no baby owls." Billy left Keith's place, shaking his head. He'd been scammed, but he couldn't help but laugh. He had 2 gay, spray-painted barn owls, only in Ripley.